Hey everyone, Chef Mike with Cave Man BBQ. I'm really excited about what I'm cooking today. One of my childhood favorites. Wild game is where it's at. I'm doing fresh rabbit, smoked and stuffed. Let's go. Here we have our rabbit. Now rabbit is a really lean meat, and when you're talking low and slow, fat is your friend. It's going to be hard to give this that kind of treatment without giving it a little bit of TLC first. So what we're going to do is we're going to brine this rabbit. We're going to brine it for 24 hours. So I'm going to show you how to make a simple brine with flavors that are going to complement the flavors we're going to add to this when we smoke it. All you need is a liquid, a salt, and a sugar, and you've pretty much got a brine. What I'm doing today is adding some flavors into my brine that are going to complement this rabbit later on in the cooking process. So I'm going to use 50 grams of Cave Man BBQ cider maple rub. To that, I'm going to add 100 mils of Cave Man BBQ volcanic barbecue sauce. And because Cave Man BBQ products are generally low in salt, I'm going to add about 100 grams of pink salt. Again, this is going to be a very simple process. I'm going to take my 5 liters of water and throw this brine together right in front of you. Cave Man rub in, salt in, and to that, I'm going to add my volcanic barbecue sauce. My volcanic barbecue sauce is a little sweet, so that's going to add a bit of sugar note as well. Mix that in also with the chili. It's going to give you a really nice flavor in there. A little bit of a fermented chili hit. So all I've done is combine that in the water, nice and cold. And next, all I need to do is put in my rabbit. So I'm going to put my rabbit in, push him down, make sure that there's no air left in the rabbit's cavity. Now, you need to make sure that this rabbit's going to stay underwater. If you have a brining bucket, you'll have a lock lid you can put in there. I'm not using one, so all I'm using, glass plate. Right in, right on top of my rabbit. That's going to hold my rabbit underwater and make sure that it stays in the brine. So I'm going to go add this to the fridge now. It's going to be in there for 24 hours. Check back with me, and we'll see what the next stage is. Okay, it's been right around 24 hours. I've pulled our rabbit out of the brine, I've given him a rinse in some cold water, and I've toweled him off. The next step is to stuff him and get him on the smoker. So this is how we're going to make our stuffing. It's a basic sausage stuffing I'm using today with sausage meat, brown onion, minced garlic, and some whole grain mustard. Now, I'm not going to get stuck in weights and measurements because everybody's a little bit different what they like in their stuffing. Feel free to exercise your own creativity in this. Now, this is a great chance to impart some new flavors. You could just use a basic sausage mince, or you can do what I'm doing, and I'm using a jalapeno cheese sausage mince that I got from a local butcher. So let's put our stuffing together. Now I'm using the best kitchen tools you're ever going to have to do this, right here. So, very simple. Sausage mince in. Onion in. Minced garlic in. And seeded mustard in. Now, all we need to do is stir this to combine by hand. Now, as I said before, this is a jalapeno and cheese sausage mince, so you might want to use gloves when you're doing this. Personally, I've been doing this a long time, and I exercise pretty good control over rubbing my eyes and things like that. So I'm getting a nice feel, mincing this together, picking up all the extra flavors I've put in there. This sausage mince already has a beautiful flavor profile that's been imparted by the butcher. It didn't even need any seasoning. So here we have it, our combined sausage mince that's got all of our flavors now built into it. Beautifully and moist, gonna keep that rabbit beautifully and moist. Now we just have to stuff our rabbit. So I've laid him here on his back, spread him open, ready to impart this stuffing. So it's a pretty simple process, guys. You just got to take your ball of stuffing and stuff it into your rabbit. Stretch out the sausage as you need to, trying to give this rabbit a bit of a shape that he would have naturally if we hadn't if he was still running around in a field somewhere. So here he is. Rabbit's been stuffed. Sausage mince is in there, going to keep this beautifully and moist. We've closed them up around it. And next, we just need to add our binding agent and rub. Okay, so let's talk rub application. Now, I'm going to be using a binding agent today. Binding agents aren't something I use all the time when I smoke. Actually, I hardly ever use them. The only time I do use them is when I'm trying to impart a new flavor profile by use of the binding agent, or in a case like this where I need to add as much moisture into this rabbit as I can. So for my binding agent today, I'm actually going to be using a little bit of rendered bacon fat. This is about the best thing you can use on rabbit. Some people will put slices of bacon right over the rabbit, which is also a great process. I'm just not looking for that look today. There go bacon fat. So to add the bacon fat, I'm just going to, just like I'm massaging this guy, I'm just going to pour a little bit on anywhere where there's a bit of meat, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of a rub to make sure it's evenly coated. This is going to help my rub adhere, and it's also going to impart just a little bit more moisture. I'm going to flip this guy over and the rest of my rendered bacon fat right onto him. So here we are. So now he's had a nice coating of rendered bacon fat. He's enjoyed the Cave Man BBQ spa experience. And now we're going to add in some of our Cave Man BBQ cider maple rub. So all we're going to do is just evenly and as liberally as you like, we're going to coat this guy with a good coating of rub. So he's had that side. Now flip him over. Give him a bit of a go on the underside. So I'm happy with this coat of rub. This is the way I'm going to cook our rabbit, laying open like this. I want the juices from this sausage mince to get as much chance to meld into this rabbit as possible. So I'm going to be putting this guy on the smoker at 250 Fahrenheit, 121 Celsius for probably about 3.5 hours, looking for an internal temperature on the fattest part of this rabbit, 160 Fahrenheit. So here we have our rabbit. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's come off the smoker after just over 3 hours, an internal temp of 160, 165, depending on where I poked it. And it's got a beautiful red color. It's come out of my cider maple rub. It's got some nice char on it, which I wanted, and it's still really moist. I can't wait to dig into this with some traditional sides of fried potatoes and onions and buttered pea smash. There we have it, guys. We've got a stuffed rabbit that was done on the smoker, some buttered pea smash, and a simple side of fried potatoes and onions. This is going to be a delicious tea. Well, I really hope you enjoyed my video today. If you did, hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Put your comments down below, any ideas you have about what I did. I love reading that stuff. Follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/cavemanbbq Australia. Thanks, guys.